They were the inspiration behind a movie. They were the subject of a documentary. Their accomplishments helped propel Doug Williams, Gary Clark, Dexter Manley, and the 1987 Redskins to be Super Bowl champions. But for 30 years, they were never acknowledged.
And I want to welcome everyone today, especially people flown all across the country to be here, part of this celebration that's taken 30 years in the making.
In 1987, after 2 games, the NFL players went on strike. Ownership decided the games would go on. The Redskins were the only team where no player crossed the picket line to play. 45 players who were not on any roster were signed in their place.
First day, drive over here in a bus. Bus stops, the veterans are here. It was not pretty in the parking lot. How about Darryl Grant? He stands in front of the bus. He takes his fist and he breaks the window of the bus. Oh, you got it. Welcome to the replacement team. But what did you do? You didn't go home, you stayed here. You endured. You told me you came back here for 2 things. 1, to get a second chance. And 2, you knew what your job was, to hold the fort until the veterans got back.
You know, the game's gonna count, real NFL games, and I don't look at it no differently, no other way. I'm a real Redskin.
As it turned out, the replacement teams played 3 games. For the Redskins, all 3 games were in the division. In the first, against a Cardinals team where 11 striking players broke rank and played, Anthony Allen set a Redskins record that still stands with 255 receiving yards. 1 year earlier, the Giants beat the Redskins 3 times on their way to winning the Super Bowl. In the replacement game, the Redskins dominated.
Dallas is next. Dallas took this seriously. It was the brainchild of Tex Schramm. He was going to have replacement games and get his veteran stars in there to play them and beat everybody.
21 Cowboys defied the strike. 12 played against Washington, including starting quarterback Danny White and 2 future Hall of Famers, Tony Dorsett and Randy White.
I go, hey, we got no chance in this thing. You know, these guys are this is gonna be a wipeout.
Nobody gave you a chance. Nobody gave you a chance. Joe Gibbs gathered you. He said, men, isn't this why you came back? Came back to play against the best? You want their stars to play, and their stars are going to play. This is why you came back for this moment. I still get choked up when I say it.
That was one of the most emotional games. Here it is, the replacement players. We knew the strike was going to be over. It had already been announced. They knew it was going to be their last game.
Meanwhile, this is a very important game. Whoever wins tonight will take first place in the NFC Eastern Division. Cowboy fans have embraced their replacement players, and a crowd of over 50,000 is expected.
We actually wound up probably having an advantage. All of the replacement players in our group were together, tight-knit. Theirs, because people had crossed the line, they were fractured. So you don't know that going in. You just think you're going to get killed.
The replacement Redskins neutralized Randy White.
And Derek Brills buries it.
Sacked Danny White 5 times. And forced Dorsett to fumble twice.
And I can remember in the 4th quarter, that thing was close. Guys are about to hyperventilate, that we could lose this football game or win it.
On 4th down, defensive back Joe Kofer broke up the pass and sealed the win.
Look at the assignment on this sideline. Jubilation on the side of the Redskins. They have won their 3 replacement games.
I said after the game in the locker room, it was one of the greatest upsets in the history of the Washington Redskins. I still believe it. It was one of the greatest upsets in the National Football League, which you guys did.
When the Redskins veterans returned, they were in first place. 3 months later, they would win the Super Bowl. And now, 30 years after that, the replacement Redskins would get their Super Bowl rings.
We didn't have the best team. I think we had the best continuity. It goes all the way back to the strike. deep down inside, we had to be thankful for those guys for putting us in that position.
MVP, Doug Williams. One of the all-time greats in Washington Redskin history, Gary Clark. The all-time sack leader, Dexter Manley.
Nice to meet you. All right. Thank you, Doug. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate you.
All right, man. All right, man.
Thank you so much.
All right, man.
Very happy, very emotional seeing these guys here that I hadn't seen in years. You know, to be able to come back here on such a special occasion, just incredible and very thankful that this day came.
It's a blessing. It's well overdue, you know, but we got it.
I just want to tell the Washington Redskins and Mr. Snyder, thank you all very much for giving us this Super Bowl ring.